Now, this is for my roommate, Brian. He's a huge NC State fan. Talk about that 1983 NC State NCAA championship run where they beat Houston with Akeem Olajuwon, Clyde Drexler, 5-slammer jammer.
Well, I'll tell you what, Jarrell, that to me, and people are always asking me this, the 1983 NC State story is probably the greatest story that I was ever a part of, because this team was not even supposed to make it to the, they had to win the ACC tournament to make it to the NCAA tournament, and they beat they beat Wake Forest in their first game to get there. Barely beat Wake Forest. It was something like a 1-point game. The next game in the semifinals, they had to play Michael Jordan, Sam Perkins, and the guys from Carolina, beat them in overtime. And then they had to beat Ralph Sampson in Virginia to win the ACC tournament just to make it to the NCAA tournament. And then their first game in the tournament, they were playing out in, I think it was Corvallis, Oregon, against Pepperdine. Pepperdine had a 4-point lead with, in the last under a minute to play. Their best free throw shooters, a guy named Dane Sutter. He was at the foul line with a 1-and-1, and he missed. And State somehow managed to tie the game up, go to overtime, and they won it. I think it was in double overtime they won that one. And then they played Nevada, Las Vegas, UNLV, and they had Sidney Green, who later became an NBA star. UNLV's up by like 12 points at one time. State rallies to win at the buzzer, and that was just that's just the way it went. That whole NCAA tournament, they won at Utah in the West Regional semifinals. Then had to beat Ralph Sampson in Virginia again in a nail-biter to make it to the Final Four, and then they beat Georgia, and then they played Houston and Akeem Olajuwon. Nobody gave them a chance. Everybody thought State was going to hold the ball. Jim Valvano wanted people to think that, and so here comes State. They come out just shooting away. Thurl Bailey and the boys were just firing away. They didn't make many, but they were showing Houston we were going to go with them. And in the second half, Houston had a big lead, and Jim Valvano reverted to what he called his free throw shooting defense. He made the other team have to make free throws. Houston couldn't make it. Olajuwon went for, I believe it was 20 points and 18 rebounds. He was magnificent, but Lorenzo Charles won it at the buzzer. It was just a tremendous story because this was a team that maybe if they had to do it all over again, they wouldn't have won, but they had that one chance, and they did it.
And we see that clip all the time of Jimmy V storming on the court, and it's alongside his speech at the ESPY Awards, the Never Give Up speech.
Well, I will tell you what, everybody talks about that ESPY speech, but I think that the better speech, the more dramatic speech to me was the one he made at Reynolds Coliseum in February, a couple of months before he died. Because here he was making his first appearance at NC State since he was, he left under a cloud of suspicion and everything else in 1990. And he was back, and it was the 10-year anniversary of that 83 team. And before that game, it was a game against Duke, and he and Mike Krzyzewski had become really good friends then. And before that game, people wondered if he could come out even, to talk to this group. And Reynolds Coliseum was packed, and he came out, with a little help, and he made the most magnificent speech, and the people, you could hear a pin drop in Reynolds Coliseum. It was just a tremendous talk, and the ESPYs get the most publicity because that was on national television. But that speech in Reynolds Coliseum in February of 1993 was just a tremendous effort by a man who would be dead in 2 months. But it just to even think about that, and we bring it out and watch it on tape a lot of times in our office, just to hear that, I still get goosebumps.
Now, how did the concept of Football Friday come about?
Well, I'm very proud of Football Friday. For those of us, who are, in your area up in the Triad, it's a show that we began about 1981 with the concept of covering high school football, and we started off very small. And in 1989, we went to a 30-minute show, and our goal every Friday night is to get to 26, 27, 28 high school games. And it's hectic, and it's got to be well thought out and well planned. And it's tough, but it's kind of like my baby, and I love that. I'm supposed to do that this year as part of my semi-retirement, but the job it's such a stressful show to do, and I'm not sure I'll be in what you call playing shape to do it. But I've always loved high school sports, Jarrell, because I had such a good experience myself playing high school sports, and I loved my coaches, and I feel like high school coaches have such an impact on people, and so. I wanted to do something for high school athletics. Football Friday is one of them, and our High School Extra Effort Award, which goes weekly to an outstanding student athlete in our viewing area, is another thing, and that's been on the air. We're on in our 28th year of doing that, and giving out about 700 of those things, and that's pretty amazing.
Wow, and like I stated earlier, I played football myself, so it was after a home game, I would run home, I would scout teams that we were going to play on Football Friday. Then I would flip over to some of the other affiliates like WNCT down in Greenville and WITN down in Washington to check out their little high school highlight shows to see who we're going to play and what systems they were running. So it was a good scouting report.
Well, I'll tell you, we always tried to get up to Northampton County some, but that was a long way from WRAL. And y'all played a lot of teams that were in our viewing area, so we always got, we got the Hurricanes on some, and Northampton East as well. But that's a long trip from Raleigh to Northampton.
Mm-hmm, yeah, we play Lewisburg.
I think it was 1986. I was the Grand Marshal of the Jackson Christmas Parade.
Wow, you went all the way to Jackson.
Were you born in 1986?
I was born in 85.
Ah, you're getting up there, Jarrell.
Yeah, 85, and we played Lewisburg, and we used to play Bund before they moved to the Northern Carolina 2A.
And y'all in the
Toronto
Conference.
Toronto, and actually Gates County is now in the Toronto, but I think back some time ago they used to be in the Albemarle Conference.
Well, the thing is that they're getting ready to change again. That's the thing about high school. I feel like I learned the conferences, and every 4 years they realign, so everybody's in a different conference. It's like, it drives me crazy.
Mm-hmm. Wow, that's something. Now, you said the Extra Effort Award goes out to a deserving high school student that shows. What are some of the characteristics that go into an Extra Effort Award winner?
We get lots of, we get nominations, and, we look for, you don't have to be the greatest student, but you have to be a good kid. And we feel like we've done over the years a pretty good job. Like we just recently had a girl at Millbrook High School in Raleigh who's got a basketball and academic scholarship to Wofford College. Not only is she an all-conference performer, she's number one academically in the senior class. A couple of weeks ago, we had a kid from Fayetteville whose name is Zach Faircloth, who's an amazing athlete, and his father was an Extra Effort winner in 1985. So that's pretty neat to have a father who was an Extra Effort Award winner, and then his son gets the award 24 years later.